y'all, so welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to give Dexter a full groom.
If you haven't already, check out New Vet. They're a really good supplement for dogs and puppies. I have it on my website as well as linked in the description. If you use my code, it just gives me credit. We've been using them for a long time, well before I even started videos. We just really love them. I'll make a separate video on why we love New Vet and all of the benefits, but you can check out a few here.
We are going to get him all dried up and groomed. So we do heat low, power high. That's the function I use it on. We spent a few days getting him prepared to this. We've done a few like sanitary cleans, cleaned his paws, cut his nails, just to kind of get him acclimated. So he should be pretty good with a full groom by now. Okay, we got him dry, so we're gonna go through and we're gonna brush him out, and anywhere we see any little bitty tangles, we're gonna go ahead and get out. So we have some little stuff coming out, nothing too bad. I'm just kind of feeling where there might be anything and kind of brushing that area. They're kind of, he has like little knots here and there, so we go through and make sure all these come out. So I'm just feeling if I can feel any type of knots, then I want to get those out. We definitely don't want to leave anything in. His tail seems pretty good, legs seem good. I'm just gonna check his where he wears a collar, seems good. It just seems to be his ears, and he had a couple on his body. They each seem to have their own area. He likes to roll around, so maybe that's what it is for him. When he rolls down to get pets and stuff, it targets his ears, I guess. But that's okay as long as we focus on that now that we know. Focus brushing there and make sure we brush those out every day or so. I'm sure he'll be okay. Let's do the body. Over here, I'm going to go kind of short, but not too short. So I'm going to try 5 because I want to leave some length on him. You can always go shorter. You have to wait for it to grow out if you go too short. So I'm just going to hold him here because he likes to move a little bit. And I'm just going to start right here. Again, this is his first time doing this with me, specifically on his body. I have to correct him a little bit, make him stand up. No. And I'm just going to rub this on him to show him that nothing's happening to him. He's fine. With this until I went out. No. No. So if you want to see it this way, then we'll make him look this way. And he did a little better that way, but he's still like... So I just want to test this out and see if this is the length I want to go, if I want to go shorter. Ideally, I want him to stand up, but I'm not gonna sit here fighting him all night, so. Again, I'm just going with the coat. I'm gonna need him to stand up eventually. I think I do. I'm gonna take him shorter. I'm gonna go ahead and go my usual 4. Just because I think that'll give us a nicer length. Because he's already pretty big boy, so I don't want him to look even bulkier than he needs to right now. So I'm just holding him underneath his body to keep him upright. And I'm just scooping into the legs and kind of coming out. Now he moves a lot, as you can see. So I'll do his front since he came this way. and kind of take out all of this bulk that's here around his face and neck. And this here. There we go. So now he's starting to act a little better. Remember, you just want to know where he is because he's a boy. And we're going to go over him a few times too, so he is a knot back here, I feel now. And then I'm just going to stand it all back up. You can use your hand or a comb, or you can brush it all back and do it a few times. But it's going to cut off at a length, so I'm just going to stand it back up. It's a little different for him, seems like, but he's used to being groomed. I don't know, like, how much he liked it then, but he's doing a pretty good job here. If I didn't say that already, I'm using a 4-guard, which is a 1/2 inch or 13 millimeter. So what you can do is you can stand them back up, stand up, bud, and you can brush them against the way that their coat grows. So you basically, the goal of this is to stand up all the hair. So you stand it all up so that you can run your clipper over it. Stand that way. And then you can take off, I don't know how hard that is to see, the little bit of hair that's still coming off. So that's the goal of brushing, and you do this multiple times. I don't know what is going on with him, but come on, buddy. Work with me. There you go. Seems to do a little bit better facing this direction, so we're gonna roll with that and use that. So same thing, I'm just going with the way that the hair grows. I want to take off any straggling hair and just make him look really even. And again, I'm aware of where he is because he's a boy. I don't want to accidentally catch him there. So I'm going to turn it this way again because I really need to take off some of this bulk that's here growing. And same thing, I'm just going to go in, being aware of where he is, and then going into the leg here. For our paws, I like to put my clipper down to the shortest, so you have a little lever here that makes it longer or shorter, the closest setting, and then I just grab your paw and you pull it out, and I'm just cleaning off any hair that's, okay sir? I'm just cleaning off any hair that's here covering his paw. I just want to take it off and expose the pads. You don't need to go between the pads, you just need to clean up around it. So I'm just cleaning up around it. I'll shape them later, so it doesn't really matter if they look kind of funny on the upper side just yet. So same thing, I'm going to stand them up. So I'm grabbing the leg here and I'm just scooping down and then pulling it up. So I'll let him deal with it how he needs to deal with it. I don't want to cut his tail accidentally, so I'm trying to get it to go. So here, and this is kind of weird to do this way. Let's see if I can reposition. So, and then I'm just exposing the pad here. The reason I pull all the hair down so I can see, so I can put it against the paw and get a nice cut off of it. I don't know what he is. Dexter. He usually doesn't do this when we cut his paws, but I guess because we did his body, it's a new experience. I'm just going to wait him out and win, so he'll calm down. His tail's kind of in the way, but I can watch out for it enough. I just wait him out just because he's not yelping or anything, he just wants to take his paw back, and I'm just basically letting him know that I need it, and he cannot. So same thing for the front, just scoop, pull down, and then just clean up all the hair that's covering the pads. Again, you're not going between them. Just, what is going on with you, bud? Exposing all of the pads so that you can see them clearly and there's no hair falling underneath them. Same thing, so here I'm gripping, pulling down, getting the paw pad, and I am clipping it off. It's easier to do this way. I know some people prefer scissors for this. I don't. I think it takes a lot longer and it's just quicker just to trim it off like this. Now we can get in here and clean up our eyes. So I'm just going right next to the eye and scooping out so that I can take off any hair that's right next to the eye, because he gets a lot of really dark pink eye boogies, or brown, pink, brown, whatever. And it kind of stains his face in a way that I don't like. Okay, same thing. I'm just gonna go right next to the eye and scoop out. I'm just taking off that hair that's right next to his eye. I'm not gonna attempt to show you on him because I don't think I'll be able to give you a good view anyway. So there you go. Now you can just see his nice, cute little eyes. Because you're handsome, right? You're handsome. You're a handsome guy. The ear is the same thing. I just flip the ear back. I will inspect the ear. And sorry, I don't know when my camera went out. So the ear, I am just taking, I'm flipping it back. And I am just inspecting the ear, which I did earlier too. And I'm looking at all this hair. I'm making sure that there's no like little balls in his ear, and then I'm just taking my clipper straight across. I'm going to turn him towards me because I want to be able to see, and I don't want to nick him by trying to do it all crooked. So I'm just taking my clipper right across the ear and taking that hair off, and I'm scooping it away from his ear so it doesn't go back into his ear. It's very little ear hair that comes out. So for a boy dog, I just lift them up like this, and right where their appendage is, I'm just going straight up and across. So I just take my clipper and I just go straight across there. You want to only do this after you've bathed them because then it's really clean. And then I just clean up any little hairs he may have here that I don't want, or if they have become tangles, because most dogs are not going to let you brush out this area. So just like that. And then I go up just a hair, and I'm just going to take my clippers through the front here, and I'm going to take off some of this length that's here on him that I couldn't get to earlier. I can see where he is, and I don't want to accidentally get that. There's a little tangle here somewhere. And I'm just taking off this bulk here. So then what we're going to do is we're going to clean up this back area here. His tail looks really good, so I'm not really going to touch it, but I want it out of the way. And then you see this hair that kind of sticks out here? I'm going to take my scissor. I'm holding him at the base of the tail so I can hold his weight up, but I'm just going to take my scissor here and I'm just going to trim this off because I don't want it to be in the way. And then I'm just going to trim downwards here. He's neutered, so I don't really have to worry about getting too close to. I'm just kind of rounding it and blending it into the tail. So he has like a nice rounded bum. I don't want him to have a weird shape going on there. And then I'm just grooming down the leg. And I'm just following the contours of his leg. I'm not really creating anything that's not there. And then the same thing in the front. I'm just gonna contour his leg, and then the front of his leg. I just like to put my hand there so I know where it is. I'm just gonna feel where his leg is. You might be able to see that in the mirror image. And I'm just going down his leg. I'm still leaving him with pretty full legs because I don't want him to have these like skinny little legs. He's a pretty strong dude, so I'm just taking some of the bulk out of his legs because I also don't want them to be extra full when he got his body trimmed down. So I'll kind of shape this side again now that I can see it a little better. And I just want to come down it, and then where his This is where most of the hair is coming off, is just the paw area. The legs. Yeah. Same thing the front, I just want to kind of shape it. Just following the contours of his leg. Nothing special. And then right here, I'm just kind of cleaning it up. But the sides, I want to pull them out, or you can use your brush if you want to use your brush, and just kind of stand it up here, because then we're going to blend it in to the side here. He'll stop wiggling. We want it to blend nicely into the legs and not just be like boom, long legs. So just stand it up and then kind of even it out with the legs. You can do that a few times to make sure you got everything, because you'll see like little hairs that are sticking out. So same thing on this side. Or again, you take your brush and brush it up. And I want to go down here because I went down on the other. If you go the opposite direction, it's going to look different, because you're cutting the hairs in a downward angle here. So I'm just seeing where any straggling hair is. His head, I want it to be long. So what we're going to do is we're going to brush all of this downward. And I want to leave his length in. I'm just going to kind of trim up a nice line so he looks really even. I put his ear out of the way so it's not in the way. And I'm just kind of giving him a nice, even, long face. I don't want to cut too much off because I don't want him to look really short. And then I'm just going to even off his ear here. So then the ear, I want it to come down to the side, and right where I've cut that line, I'm going to make his ear just slightly longer than that. So the line, and then I'm going to cut my ear straight so that he has a nice straight ear and it looks like it belongs to his head. So the rest of his hair is still kind of growing out, so we're going to let it grow out. With his ear out of the way, I'm going to see where he has a nice line. And then I want to see him from the front too, because I want to make sure I'm not making his mustache crooked. So I'm just going to turn him towards me so I can see and even off. I did a pretty good job, so I'm just going to even off his mustache so he looks really straight. You're handsome. You're handsome. You're handsome, Dexter. Okay, so then same thing. I'm just going to comb his ear down to the side. And I'm just taking my straight scissors, and right where I created that line on his face, actually I didn't really create a very good line here. I'm just going to grab the ear and then cut it straight off. Again, his head's still kind of growing out, so it's not the absolute most perfect because it's still kind of trying to grow out, but he looks really nice. And then anywhere we see kind of hair straggling, we're just going to take our scissors and just kind of trim that off as it shows up. So what I'm going to do is the way that they're falling naturally, straight scissors, and I'm going to cut them a little longer than I want them to be. So I'm just going to put them in here and I'm just going to snip off, because I want to make like a bang for him. And then I'm just going to kind of smooth it out and see what's still in the way. And I just want to trim that off. One thing you can do to make it look a little bit more natural is you can take the thinning shears, which are these ones that have a flat blade and then like a teeth part. And you can just take those in there and then kind of thin out the edge a little bit. And it just kind of blends it in and makes it look a little bit more like a natural cut. So that's his face. So then he has a nice clean face. He has some long hair on the sides here to give him that Havanese look still. But I want to take out some of this here. So for this, I have to take off my lead, and I'm just really careful, especially because Dexter's a little bit, excuse you, sir, a little bit weary of the table. I just kind of want to take out some of the bulk that got left in the neck. So right behind the ear, I'm just following that along his head. And then I'm just, my newly created mustache, I'm just gonna push it back and kind of go right next to the ears. Right where that ear is, I'm just gonna go right next to it. And kind of take out some of that bulk that got left behind. I'm holding his head up, and I'm just going right underneath to take out some of that bulk. Right next to the ears. How we blend the legs in, we just stand him up, and that same guard that we took after we've cut off a lot of the bulk from the legs, now we just go into the legs. And this is the cheat code way that I blend the legs in together, and now they're not gonna look perfect and absolutely shaped because the leg, the way that it is shaped, but it takes off the rest of that bulk that you have there, and you've already shaped the front and the back, so it tends to look pretty good. It's just, again, my easy way of blending in the legs to the body. Okay, and then same thing on this side. I want him to stand up. Again, like I said, it's not meant to be perfect, just meant to be easy, so you can blend things in. And with my scissors, anything that's like straggling out, I will take the opportunity to trim off and then go into the legs just one more time to clean up anything that the clipper might have thrown off a little bit. And last, we need our curved scissors to do our paws. So I like to stand him up to do the back ones, if he'll give me both paws. He kind of stands like Stormy, which is funny. Kind of leans into it. So same thing, just comb them out, and you want to go at an angle inwards towards the legs and create a nice, pretty big, you don't want to make it too small. You're doing a nice wide curve around their toenails, the back nails. Same thing. And this just does a final shaping. And then if one gets a little too angled, you can just make the other one that angle too. And then for the front paws, same thing, just brush them out. And we're just gonna go around. I'd like him to stand up because then I know I'm not even close to anything else, but he's determined to sit, so I will be determined to cut around him sitting. Okay, and last thing will be nails. Just always good every time you groom them or bathe them. Go in and trim up your nails. The back I find don't really need it as often as the front, but I like to check and go over them if they need it. Okay, for the back, I'm going to use these because they're already pretty short, but I want to keep them short. So I'm going to take our grinder and just grind them down a little bit shorter. Not a whole lot, just making sure they stay short. I'll go over our front ones too, just to round them off nicely. that's it for this video. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. There's only more grooming videos, more training videos, and more Havanese videos to come. Thanks for watching. You smiling too?